Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Tuesday, December 26th, 2023 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi and our energy mantra for today is I align my energy and my integrity with softness. And hello, I'm happy to be here after a small break. Even those few days off felt like a little break. And I'm here because we have a full moon today. We have a full moon in Cancer today. And this is one of our, we have kind of like a finale week astrologically. Like we're finishing up some retrogrades this week, preparing for 2024. And this full moon is part of this energy. This full moon feels like it's kind of setting a stage for embracing a different way of being for 2024. So this full moon in Cancer, when I looked at the saving symbol, I was like, I don't really like it, but I get it. It's in some ways a warning, and I don't mean this in a scary way. Let me read it to you. I have to pull it up on my computer, so watch my light shift. Hold on. All right. Oh, and I closed it. Leave it to me to hit the X. Okay. Now I have to pull it back up again because I can't find my book right now with it. There we go. That'll take a second. Mercury retrograde. Okay, so the saving symbol for Cancer 5 degrees is at a railroad crossing, an automobile is wrecked by a train. And the keywords in here are like karmic readjustment. So what came to me as I was reading that, even though I was like, man, is how we wreck ourselves trying to do too much. So in this case, this car was trying to cross a train crossing and, playing with fate, but playing with space and time, and wrecked itself. Like instead of really listening and slowing down. And I think we do this to ourselves a lot, where we'll try to do too much, we'll try to push ourselves too much, and then we end up wrecked. And the karmic readjustment in this case is recognizing in order to change the world, we each have a responsibility to not taking on more than we can do. To recognizing we can pace ourselves, to recognize we don't all have to walk as fast as New Yorkers do. When I moved from New York to California, that was one of the biggest shocks for me because everybody in New York walked so fast and everybody in California kind of sauntered around. And it took me a long time to adjust to that, But there's something to that. There's something to the slowing down pace. It's calming, it's nurturing. And this full moon reminds us we can set the pace. We can change the tide. There is enough of us to shift the momentum, to make it where we don't have to live in such a hyperactive world. So that's my encouragement with this full moon in Cancer, is to recognize where you can do that. I think the saving symbol for 5 degrees Cancer, which is what we're moving into, is 5 degrees from that 4 degree energy, is a game bird feathering its nest. That's the thing, is like take the time to make it comfortable, to get it cushy. That's part of our soul work, is not to necessarily do the 3D societal bidding, but to listen to ourselves in a deeper way, in a more soulful way, and let ourselves move from there. So, in addition to this full moon today, well, let me say one more thing about this full moon. Speaking of earthy energy, this full moon is actually sextiling Jupiter. Jupiter in Taurus. Jupiter, which is wrapping up its retrograde process this week. And so, again, it feels like another call to sinking in to our beingness, that Taurus energy. And Jupiter's like, hey, you can be here, you can enjoy yourselves, please do. That aids to the overall better vibration of the planet. Please enjoy yourself, sink into your sensual human nature, and be gentle, be good to yourself. Recognize your worth. You are worthy and worth the goodness. So, like I said, besides this stuff, we also have Chiron going direct today. So the full moon happens at 4:30 p.m. Pacific time, and then Chiron goes direct at 5:50 p.m. Chiron has been retrograde since, August? Retrograde in the sign of Aries. My cheat sheet. I should have looked it up, but, yeah, end of July. So end of July, it has been retrograde in the sign of Aries. So unless you have something right where it is in Aries, getting back in tune with the charts, 15 degrees, 15 degrees Aries, you may not necessarily feel that. But hopefully, as Chiron has been retrograde, you have had time to review various pieces of who you are, shedding pieces that you are not, and knowing, again, you're worthy of living a life on this planet that doesn't look like anybody else's, that you being you is of the utmost importance to yourself, but to all of us as well. So Chiron direct today with this full moon, again, is reminding of us our humanness as well, our human softness. We are these giant souls in these soft sugar cookie bodies that need us to be gentle, because we crumble. The moon and Saturn will connect on the way to the fullness. So again, some of this nostalgic energy that I've been writing about and the scopes coming up with that, some karmic energies may be coming up for release in this time. So watch for that. We also have Mercury and Neptune reaching a square. That's not going to be till 11:42 p.m., but that energy may bring a little confusion, a little fog. Cancer full moon can be very emotional. You may not even know exactly what you're feeling. I think it's normal to feel a lot of what the world is feeling right now. I know a lot of people are feeling a lot of sadness. Let those energies roll through you, and then find your way back into your softness. What do you need? How can you tend to your own nest? And don't feel guilty about tending to your own nest. Once we are taken care of, any and all of us are in a better place to take care of others. Take care of yourself, and then see where you can support, help others who also need some feathers in their nest. I think that's like the root of this card right here, the friendliness card. So be strong in yourself, build those roots, tend to those roots, and then in friendliness, help and support others. Actually, we have a few 2 cards. My other card is a 2 card too. We have the card of possibilities. So we actually have, along with the card of possibilities too, the no-thingness card. And this may speak of this Neptune-Mercury connection. We have Mercury back in Sagittarius. And both of these cards speak of pure potentiality. And so recognize, while I don't necessarily utilize a full moon for manifestation so much, we are always manifesting. We are always doing that work. So hold space for possibilities. I mean, here we are, we're just off of solstice in this holiday time, building to New Year energy. There's a certain magic that's still crackling. Like, take hold of that and hold space for these possibilities that you feel like you're wanting to pull in. We do have some mental cards. We have the politics, and we have the fighting. And that feels kind of like what I was talking about with the full moon, the Sabian symbol, an automobile being crashed by on the train tracks. It's kind of what we do to ourselves when we fight ourselves and push for the politics. We push to show up in the way we think the world wants us to. It's up to you. You get to show up how you want to show up. You get to show up in a way that feels best. That's part of the Capricorn energy, is taking back that authority and deciding. You may be fighting some deep conditioning in this. These places where you feel like you have to show up in that certain way. But I'm telling you, this may be your call to shift. So, leaving that there for today. Happy to be back seeing you. Book of reading readings for 2024. Get those in. Besides that, the better it gets, the better it gets. There's more than enough love in the world for you. You have the power, and remember who you are. Namaste.